What's up? Good morning. Welcome to Trading Live with Bubba for Thursday, October the 30th. And, the Fed did their deal yesterday. And, of course, all garbage, talking about they're trying to serve the American people as they screw the middle class. Rate cuts don't mean anything. The markets didn't like what they had to say. But interesting stuff you're seeing today, which is the Dow is up 300 and the S&P is down 23. So it's like a 500-point swing between the two. And of course, obviously, the S&P is well over the Dow in total value. It's worth, let's say, about 35,000. The Dow is worth about 24,000. Excuse me, 240,000 versus 350,000. Believe it or not, back in 2008, the Dow had more value than the S&P when we had the big sell-off, and that's typically what you look for. Right now, not much going on. We could have had a trade in crude, but not much going on. We have 4 or 5 open trades. 2 are in good shape, 2 are not in good shape, and 1 is on the cusp. So we'll see how it plays out. Obviously, we have till the expiration tomorrow. But let's see if we get any action here to trade off of. It's been a little whippy. But again, the interesting part is the divergence between the Dow and the S&P. And if you look at it, the Dow and the Russell are both much higher, and the S&P and the Nasdaq are both much lower. So, we don't really care. We just want an opportunity to trade. And there was a couple of good trades throughout the day. When we traded live this morning with my members, we had 6 or 7 trades. So hopefully we'll get them here now too as well. But we need a little bit more volume, and this has been another problem we've been watching is the lack of volume. Again, that takes away from action in the market. So we'll see. But the Fed didn't do anybody any favors. And again, if you look at the interest rate market, the long-term rates are going higher, which is what mortgages are based off and everything else. So, you can believe all that garbage if you choose to, but the fact of the proof is in the pudding, as they say. The long-term rates and mortgages are still going up. So, in the meantime, maybe we'll get something here in crude. Could be. But markets are a little skinny at the moment from a volume standpoint. Crude's on its high. So we'll see what happens here in the next minute or so and be ready to go. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. No shame in asking a question. We're always open to answering them. Okay. Yeah, let's say we might get something in crude, so let's take a look at it. Right now, if we get the trade in crude, the stop would be 61.20. 61.20 if we get a trade. We do not have one yet officially, so we'll let you know. I'd say it's got to be below 60.55 for us to want to get in here. Right here would be fine, but we're not ready yet. We got to wait it out until the bar closes. Okay. No trade. There you go. See it pop right back up. No trade yet. We've got to watch it for another minute. But again, this is what you got. This is the patience it takes to trade. You got to really, again, there's opportunity, but you just don't want to get yourself emotionally and mentally stuck. That's always a problem for many. And we trade the micros, trade multiples, so we can piece them off and keep a couple for a big move. So we need 55 or below to want to sell it here. 55 or below. And we'll wait for it as long as it takes. Let me just let this bar close and see. Okay, let me see if anything else is happening while we're watching. No, not much is happening. It's kind of quiet. You got a big day with earnings today. You got Apple, Amazon, Coinbase. So it's been quite a while since we've seen this big of a divergence between the S&P and the NASDAQ and the Dow. So if you have the Tesla trade on from Tuesday, I would close it. You can close it for about 10 cents right now. We sold it for $1.10. So take the $100 per contract. And we're still waiting for an entry. Okay. So we don't have one yet. Okay. So while we're waiting, we'll go look at some stocks that we look at. Now, Apple is out of play today because it's earnings, so I'm not really going to get involved with it. Amazon, the same story. Coin, same story. So those are three. Crowd, we're in and right on the verge of profitability. You're profitable a little bit, but again, you're right. It could go either way from here. So I wouldn't add. I wouldn't do too much more with it right now. ETHA, nothing to do. And let's just go back so we don't miss if there is something. And we'd like to now enter at 59 or below. But as long as it keeps going up, we know we're selling it. So if it keeps going up, we'll just get a higher sell. That's all. Not a big deal. Yeah. Okay. We got another minute to wait. So let's see what happens. Meta had earnings yesterday, getting clobbered. You would certainly consider selling some put spreads here, and we will sell these for November the 7th. Okay, and mommy want to sell, let's say the 655, 652.50 for $1.28. Yeah, I can do that. Okay, Meta. Google, probably want to sell some call spreads in here. And let me go back so we don't miss in case there is a trade that shows up. It does not appear that it's going to show up, but I'll get back to Google in a minute and just see what we got here. And no, 59 or below for now. Okay. So Google for the 7th. 290, 250 for $1.02. I can take that. And INOQ, nothing for us to do. IWM, nothing for us to do. MP, nothing for us to do. Microsoft, nothing to do. That was one we talked about on Tuesday, but said that we wouldn't do it because of earnings. And of course, it's doing what we thought it might, but all right, so crude continues to go higher. Again, we're going to sell it, but now with volume dissipating, it may take that trade away altogether. Again, we're not going to chase it, certainly to be to our advantage price-wise, but if it's going to dry up, then there's no point. It changes what the dynamics of the overall trade was to begin with. Okay, so we'll give it another minute or two and see. MSTR, I had earnings yesterday also. Getting close, nothing to do yet. NNE, nothing to do. Nugget, we said the other day, I said I wouldn't take it, but that was a trade to be a buyer of or sell put spreads. NVIDIA, we're already in, which we're against us right now. Need a little more selling. Palantir, we're in. It's against us. Okay. I need a little bit more selling here. QBTS, nothing to do. Accused. And you could still potentially sell some call spreads here. I don't know that I'm all that gung-ho right now. Again, it's kind of quiet. SMCI, nothing. SPY, nothing. XYZ, look at that. Failed right where we thought it would, up at 80. Tesla already in and it's a winner. Win, nothing to do. XBI, nothing to do. And Zoom, nothing to do. So, we'll watch the regular markets and see if there's anything that we can find to trade. Right now, we're still going up in crude, and now with the volume drying up, probably a non-starter. Again, we're not going to force the trader or try to put ourselves in. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Sometimes you're better off just observing the market. I mean, that's really what we have to be concerned about. I mean, you got the Dow making new highs again. So I don't want to sell into that because I don't have a reason. There's no panic on the buy. I need volume in crude to get up to here, and then we'll look at it again. But other than that, I'm not going to chase it. Again, I'm not going to force the trade. It doesn't make sense. Okay. Gold could be a potential. Again, we're not getting that swift, fast action right now, so not a lot to really go after here. Crude is not really getting to where I wanted to go. Volumize it. We got a couple of seconds to see if it does get there. And it's close. Again, it isn't great. Either way, it's not great because, once again, there's not that much action. The speed of the move is not huge. So that doesn't mean there's a big chase, but it is a little bit extended. And we are, on the short-term prime through 3 standard deviations from the mean. So we'll take a look at it. We'll see if we get an opportunity on the next couple of bars. The Google filled, Meta filled. So our new trades filled. If you trade them with me, if you don't, no big deal. And crude stop would be 61.32. If we do get a trade here, and we may get one here. Looks like we're going to get it, but we got to wait it out. No trade yet. We're going to wait. It's right on the cusp. Again, I'm not going to, like I said, I'm not interested in forcing him on. It needs to be right now, I'd say 64 or below would be where I'd be more comfortable. So let's see what happens here. It gives us the opportunity. It looks like we're going to get it here. 64 or below. Not yet. Look at that, how it popped right back up there. So again, I'm not going to force it. I'm going to wait. I got a number, 64. That's where I'm going to sell it or below. Once the bar closes, it has not done so. So I'm not going to chase it. I don't think it makes sense to chase it. So we'll let it. Listen, it's not that busy. You can see by the lack of actual movement in the chart itself. That's a 1 minute chart. You would expect to see a little bit more action there, and you're not seeing it. So why should we force anything? Doesn't make sense. Looks like a non-starter again. Okay. Now, this isn't very exciting. I think we'll cut it short. Remember, I do a market 120 every day just to give you a brief overview of what's going on early in the morning before markets open. And I'll see you all back here on Tuesday. We did put on 2 trades, Meta and Google. Have a great weekend, everybody, and enjoy football if you're a fan. We'll see you later.
You know how the financial world goes. Here comes the buzzkill. Please make sure to take some time to read this boring disclaimer. We will owe you one.